If a company does not comply with applicable laws in some ways, it can be sued by governmental agencies or by private plaintiffs. And so, for example, a company that causes an accident, has a product that's unsafe and it causes accidents, there could be injured parties who sue that company for damages associated with those accidents. There could be people who bought the product that haven't had accidents who say, well, you sold me the product for this much, but it's worth only this much because it's subject to these accidents. So the difference is my damage. I was injured because I bought a product for more than it was really worth. But there could be agencies or attorneys general or agencies like the Federal Trade Commission that could go after these companies and file governmental enforcement actions against them. There could be administrative actions of various kinds. So basically there's some legal liability. They could end up having to pay money to settle claims by private plaintiffs. They could end up having to pay civil money penalties to the government. Those are the kinds of things that could happen to a company. And ultimately, if it's really bad, then a company may not be able to survive. Like in the asbestos industry, for example, companies were forced to go out of business because the liabilities were so great, those liabilities exceeded the value of the companies. If companies come to me and they say, this is something that might never happen, I'd rather put this off for tomorrow because I don't want to spend some money today, I tell them, you're taking a risk on yourself. If they let the problem go and then there's some accident that occurs or some data breach that occurs, they end up having to spend this much money just to take care of the problem. Whereas if they just spent this much money today, then they could have prevented that problem from happening in the first place. I really like to see my clients avoid problems rather than having them to pay legal fees and defense costs and investigation costs to take care of a problem after it's happened. And of course, nobody wants to be involved with selling a product that hurts people. So you can put yourself in a position, in the best possible position, to win a legal case that hasn't yet been filed for a product that yet hasn't been developed and sold that might lead to an accident that hasn't yet occurred. And how can you do that? By going through a process by which you examine the legal risks in the development process of a product or in the procurement process of a product. Mitigate those legal risks today by having policies and procedures to make sure that the products are safe, they're free of bias, they're not going to cause security vulnerabilities, and take care of those things now and not only meet the standard but go beyond the standard so that someday after you've developed the product or purchased the product, and if something goes wrong, you can stand in front of a jury and say, not only did we meet the standard of what we were supposed to do, we went above and beyond what we were supposed to do because we wanted to do the right thing. That's a powerful story for a jury.